Ali Baba and the 40 Thieves. Once there were two boys who were brothers. The older one was called Kasim. The other was Ali Baba. When they grew up, Kasim married a woman who was rich. Ali Baba married a woman who had no money at all, so they had to live in a very small house and never had nice things to eat and drink. Ali Baba went out every day to cut down trees for firewood. He used to take the wood home on the backs of his 3 little donkeys. Then he went round the streets with it. Some of the women came out of their houses to buy the wood from him. This was how he made his living. It was not a very good living, and he never had much money to take home to his wife and son. One day, when he was at work in the woods, he saw some men coming along on horseback. He did not like the look of them, so he said to his donkeys, "I don't want these men to see me. They may take my wood. You go off so that they will not see you, and I will climb up into this tree. I will call you when they have gone." Up into the tree he went, and on came the men. Then the first man said,
"Stop! The place is over there."
All the men jumped from their horses, and Ali Baba saw that every horse had a big sack on its back. The men lifted these sacks off the horses' backs and put them on their own backs. Then the horses were led away, and the men walked up to a big rock that was near Ali Baba's tree. Ali Baba counted the men as they stood nearby. There were 40 of them. Standing in front of the big rock, one of the men called,
"Open sesame!"
Ali Baba saw a door in the rock open. The man went in, and all the others went in after him. No sooner had the last one got in than the door closed again. "I wish I could get down now and run off home," said Ali Baba, "but they might come out again soon and see me." So he still sat in the tree. He wondered why he'd never seen the door in the rock before. Who had opened it? Was it the entrance to a cave? And why were the men taking those sacks into it? They were such big sacks. What was in them? Could it be money? Were the men robbers? If so, it would be dangerous to climb down. But what a long time they were. At last the men came out, and they did not have any sacks with them. When all of them were out, the head man called,
"Close sesame!"
The door in the rock closed. Then they went to their horses, jumped on their backs, and were off and away. Ali Baba came down from the tree as fast as he could. He went to the rock and called, "Open sesame," just as the man had done. At once the door opened, and Ali Baba looked into a cave. In it there were not only the sacks which the robbers had left, but many other things: gold, silver, jewels, and silks. There was no time to be lost. If the men came back and found him, they would kill him. So he went in quickly to have a good look around. All of the sacks left by the men were full of money. He soon pulled the biggest sacks of money up to the door. It had closed after him when he went in, but when he called, "Open sesame," it opened at once to let him go out. Then he said, "Close sesame," and it closed. It did not take him long to find his 3 donkeys. He put the sacks of money on their backs with some wood on top, so that no one would know the money was there. Then he went home. His wife did not know what to think when she saw all the money in the sacks. He told her where he had found it, but said she must not tell anyone.
"Where will you keep it?"
she asked. "I will dig a pit and put it there," he said.
"First let me see how much there is,"
she said, as she put her hand into one of the sacks. She picked up a handful of coins and let them run through her fingers. Ali Baba's wife started to count the golden coins.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6...
"Stop! It'll take too long," said Ali Baba. "You will never count them all. There are so many."
"You dig the pit, and I will go to Kasim's house and ask him to let us have a box to put them in,"
said his wife.
I want to know how much there is.
Don't tell them why you want it, said Ali Baba as she went away. Kasim was not at home. He was at his shop, but his wife was in the house.
What do you want a box for?
She asked.
To put some flour in.
Replied Ali Baba's wife.
And could you let me have a cup as well? I want to see how much we have.
Yes, I will go and get one for you. But you must bring it back after you have used it,
said Kasim's wife. As she went to get the cup, she thought,
how can Ali Baba's wife have so much flour? They have very little money to buy any. I must find out what she is up to. I know what to do.
She put some wax on the bottom of the cup where it could not be seen. Ali Baba's wife hurried home as fast as she could with the box and cup.
I will see how much money it takes to fill this cup,
she said.
Then we can see how many cups will fill the box. That way, we can find out how much money we have.
They found 40 cups of money would go into the box, and they could fill the box 3 times from one sack. But they had 3 sacks. What a lot of money, and all gold! How pleased they were!
Now I must take the cup back,
said Ali Baba's wife. She did not know that a gold coin was stuck to the wax on the bottom of the cup. Kasim's wife soon found it, and when her husband came home from his shop, she said,
have you any money?
No,
said Kasim.
I did not sell much today.
Ali Baba has some,
said his wife.
What are you saying, woman?
Said Kasim.
You know Ali Baba has no money.
Aha! He has more than you have,
said his wife.
He has so much gold that he keeps it in a big box.
Then she told Kasim how she had found this out. Kasim was not at all pleased, and went to Ali Baba's house to ask him where he had got the gold. How do you know that I have some money? Said Ali Baba. When Kasim told him how his wife had found out, Ali Baba said, all right, I will tell you. But Kasim was greedy. He did not want to have less money than Ali Baba, so he said,
you must take me to the place where the gold is. If you don't, I will go to the police and tell them that you are a robber.
Then Ali Baba said, I will tell you how to find your way to the cave. When you get to the place, you will see a tree with a big rock close by. Then you just say, open sesame, and a door will open. When you come out, say, close sesame. This is all you have to do. Next day, as soon as the sun was up, Kasim went off on his horse. He took 8 more horses with him to carry as much money as possible away from the cave. He soon found the right place and the door in the rock.
Open sesame,
he called, and the door opened. Into the cave he went, and the door closed after him. He looked round at all the sacks of gold and jewels. Which should he take? He pulled the biggest ones to the door.
I don't think I can take any more this time,
he said when he had 8 of them.
Now, I must get away as fast as I can. I don't want those robbers to find me here.
But he was thinking so much about what was in the sacks that he forgot how to open the door. He said,
open wheat.
Not open sesame, so the door stayed closed. Then he said,
open corn.
But that was not right.
Open oats.
Nothing happened. He gave the door a push. Then he pulled, but it would not open. He tried and tried, but he just could not think of the right word to make the door open. He was still there when the robbers came to put more sacks in the cave. They saw Kasim's horses and said to one another,
someone must have found out how to get in. Don't let him get away.
Then the head man called,
open sesame.
As the door opened, Kasim ran out. They attacked him and left him in the cave, thinking he was dead.